So we've got about an hour of mat Pilates with me this morning, okay? We're gonna keep it pretty simple. We'll get the full body's gonna get involved. And today for props, all you're really gonna need is a tissue box. Okay, now if you have a yoga block at home, I'm gonna use a yoga block in the class today. So if you have one, great, use it. But I know most people don't have one of these at home. So a tissue box will work perfectly, a little short one like this or a long one. Either way, you want it to be lightweight, just like the yoga block, okay? So they're really super light. And it's just gonna intensify the work. So even without it, you're gonna get a ton of work. This is just gonna intensify some of the movement. So totally up to you if you wanna use it or not. And then weights are completely optional. I am not going to use them today, but there's a lot of places in this workout where you can add them, almost the whole thing. So if you want extra little 2-pound weights or 3-pound weights in your workout, by all means go ahead and use them, okay? I'm not going to use them, so I'm just going to put mine down on the side. Got my yoga block ready. Okay, now I see some people have come on. Hi, Florence. Okay, happy Easter. I know it's not easy to join me on a holiday for a workout. I'm sure everybody's got a busy, kind of crazy, hectic household going on. Everybody's cooped up. Nobody can go out, right? I know it's kids, Easter baskets. We did all that early, so now they're kind of, they're kind of tuckered out and settled, so we can do this workout. All right, so 1 hour, let's do this. It's gonna be awesome, all right? I'm gonna get everything set up here. All right, and we're gonna start on that mat with our feet just underneath those hips, okay? About 4 inches apart, parallel. We're gonna start with those roll down, so arms are long by your side. Already start to grow taller through the crown of the head. We're gonna inhale those arms up and overhead, lengthening through the spine. Exhale as you nod that chin, rounding the spine, rolling one vertebrae at a time all the way down towards the floor, pausing at the bottom. Take that moment to pause and stretch. Feel that nice stretch to the back line of the leg. I know my legs are really tired right now, so that stretch feels really nice. You're gonna softly bend that right knee, then softly bend that left knee, alternating those little knee bends, trying to keep your heel down on the floor. Good, and letting yourself just melt forward. Good, you're here for 4. Last 3. Good, you've got 2. Good, on the next one, when your legs are straight, you're gonna inhale one vertebrae at a time. You're gonna roll all the way back up to standing, nice and slow. Head, neck, and shoulders are the last things to come up. We're gonna inhale those arms up and overhead one last time. Exhale, nod that chin, rounding the spine, getting a little deeper into the movement this time. Good, keeping those legs nice and straight, or as straight as you can. Good, keeping those heels glued to the floor, toes are down. Softly bend that right knee. Softly bend that left. Feeling a deeper stretch through the straight leg. Good, we're here for 4. Can you melt a little deeper? You're here for 3. Good, last 2. On your next inhale breath, you're gonna start to roll up one vertebrae at a time. We're stacking the spine, okay? Head is the last thing to rise. And coming all the way back up. Okay, take those feet nice and wide. We're gonna come into a wide plie stance. So wide second, toes are turned out, feet are much more than shoulder width distance apart. We're gonna inhale, arms up and overhead, find that plie. Exhale as you come back up to stand. Inhale, arms come up and overhead, opening up those inner thighs. Good, you wanna think about opening up those knees over your second toe. Lengthening out of the waistline as you bring those arms up and overhead. This is just our little warm-up, warming up the body, warming up the spine, getting that body ready for some deeper movement. Okay, on your next one, you're gonna hold that plie nice and low. Now remember, with a plie, my tailbone is dropping straight down to the floor. I'm nice and tall. Okay, belly button's up and in. From here, keeping the length out of the waistline, I'm gonna inhale as I arc up and over to the right, rounding and rolling through center, keeping length on the front body, arcing towards the left and coming back up through center, lengthening through the crown of the head, arcing to the left, rounding and rolling through center, coming over to the right and back up through the middle. One more time to the right, arcing up and over, lengthening, rounding, keeping length on the front body as I roll through this movement. Good, coming back up through center. Good, next one, last one to the left. Inhale, up and over, arcing nice with length, rounding and rolling through center, all the way to the right, and back up to the middle. Nice job, you guys. Okay, bring those legs back in. Grab your tissue box, okay, or yoga block, whatever you have. Grab one or the other, and we're gonna come into some first position plie. So, feet are together, heels together, toes turned out for that first position, so that little V with your feet. Okay, you're gonna hold that tissue box or yoga block in between your palms. Your palms are gonna be flat on either side of that surface. So you wanna find a gentle squeeze, nothing crazy, but I want you to start to feel your shoulders, your back, and your chest light up just a bit. Okay, from here, we're gonna exhale as we open up those knees. Inhale as we zip up the inner thigh. Exhale, find that plie. Inhale as you lift and lengthen. Okay, so as you open up those inner thighs, remember in a plie, it's a small range of motion, okay? We're staying tall. I don't want you to tilt forward. I want you to stay lifted. Okay, so we're nice and tall. Belly button is up and in super tight, and every time I bring my legs back together, I'm squeezing and zipping up those inner thighs. Okay, those inner thighs connect up into the low belly. So I want you to feel that lift up in through the low belly, up into the belly button. Okay, pull that belly button up and into the spine. Good. And keeping your breath, exhale. Inhale as you zip up. Good. Finding that squeeze. You should feel it all the way in through the glutes and through the back line of the leg as well. Good. Good, last 4. We're going to start to hold that plie. Good, last 3. Gentle squeeze on that block, wrapping my shoulder blades down and around the ribs. Good, on your next one, you're going to hold that plie. So hold that plie. Soften those toes. So if all those 10 toes are clenching the floor, try to relax them. Keep them nice and flat. You want your full foot engaged on the floor. Okay, we've got those inner thighs open over our second toe, and we've got that tailbone dropping straight down. I've got a gentle squeeze on that yoga block. From here, we're gonna inhale as we rotate to the left. Okay, I want you to think about spiraling from the waist. Exhale back to center. Inhale, spiral to the right. Exhale back to center. So legs and hips completely quiet. Okay, this rotation is happening from the waistline. I want you to isolate the rotation right there. Okay, so the yoga block stays right, or the tissue box, I should say, stays right at the center of your chest. If that tissue box is going out to the side like this, then I know your head, neck, and shoulders are driving the movement. I want your core to drive this rotation. So keep that tissue box right at the center of your chest. Belly button is pulled up and in nice and tight. Good, we've got that plie. We're holding that plie. Try to relax through the shins, right? If those toes are gripping, those shins are feeling a little tight. Try to relax it there. Good, we're here for 3 more. Last one to the left. Good, on the next one, you're gonna hold it at center. We're gonna hold it at center. Now from here, we're gonna peel up our heels. So heels come 1 inch off the ground and then lower them back down. 1 inch off the ground, lower them back down. So your body doesn't change, okay? Everything is nice and tall. My core is tight. I'm in that little plie, right? So my knees are bent and I'm just peeling those heels off the floor. So finding the control is the hardest part here. Okay, I want you to find that nice tight body. Softly pressing the sides of the tissue box. You're gonna feel that the arms live in the back. Shoulders are away from the ears. Good, core is nice and tight. We're just lifting and lowering those heels. Nice, simple movement. It doesn't look like much. I know it doesn't look like much, but after you do it for a while, you start to shake, right? You feel all that connective tissue starting to work. Good, keep breathing. Your inhale takes those heels up, your exhale sets them down. Good, you're here for 4. Good, you know we have to hold those heels up, that's next. Good, last 3. Last 2. On your next one, you're gonna hold those heels lifted, hold them up, okay? Draw that belly button in nice and tight. We're gonna inhale that yoga block up and overhead, finding length through the waistline, through the right and left body. Good, bring that yoga block all the way back down. My heels are lifted. Inhale, yoga block goes up and overhead. Exhale, bring it down. You have a gentle squeeze on that yoga block or that tissue box. Okay, gentle squeeze. We don't want to crush the tissue box. Okay, we're going to protect it. It's there as a tactile cue. Okay, it's just intensifying the movement. If you don't have a yoga block, you can have your hands in prayer. It works the same way. Okay, core is nice and tight. I'm lengthening up and out of the right and left waistline with those arms up and overhead. Good. Last 3. Good. Last 2. Good, you guys. On this next one, you're going to hold that yoga block up and overhead. Hold it up there. Hold it up. Okay, from here, we're going to do a tiny little pulse. A tiny little pulse. Okay, tiny little lift, tiny little lower. Pulsing through that plie. Stay with me. Don't go anywhere. Those heels are still lifted. Good. Belly buttons up and in. Body should be feeling some heat now. Good. You're here for 6. Last 5. Good, you've got 4. Arms are plugged down and around the ribs. Last 3. Last 2. Hold it right there. Set those heels back down. Keep that yoga block up and overhead. Heels are down now. We're going to take those right toes and we're going to sweep them out to the side for a toe tap and bring that heel back in. Sweep it out to the side for a toe tap and bring it back in. Now my left knee is still bent in that plie. Okay, it isn't going anywhere. I'm grazing that right big toe across the floor for a toe tap and then zipping those heels back up to first position. Okay, little toe tap. Now with this extension of the right leg, I want you to think about the body not changing, okay? Everything stays just the same. Good. Feel the extension of the right leg come from the low belly. Inner thigh reaches out that big toe as you point. That left leg should be feeling a little burn. Good. Good, you guys. You're here for 4. Stay with me. You're here for 3. Gently squeeze that tissue box. You're here for 2. Good. On the next one, you're going to hold that leg extension. Okay, so right leg is out, belly button is up and in. Nothing else changed. From here, we're going to take that right big toe. We're going to lift it 1 inch off the floor and down. 1 inch up and down. 1 inch up and down. So, because we're in that first position, right, that leg is a little bit out towards the front of the body, so it's at a 45-degree angle. You're feeling a little bit more lift from the front line of the leg. Okay, low belly, good, into that quad, picking up that leg. Good, you're here for 4. Last 3. Last 2. Good. On your next one, you're going to sweep that leg back to first position. We're going to go with that left leg now. Keep that yoga block or tissue box up overhead. Okay, belly buttons up and in. Take that left toe out, sweep it out for a toe tap, bring it in. Sweep it out, bring it in. Everything else is nice and tight. Okay, nothing else is changing. I'm sweeping nice and low for that toe tap. That left big toe is basically grazing the floor. Okay? Belly button up and in. Stays tight. Good. Good. My right knee is bent. Try to find that full connection through the right foot. Good. You're here for 6. Last 5. Good. You've got 4. Keeping our weight center. You've got 3. Good. Last 2. On the next one, you're going to hold that leg out there. Hold that left leg extension. Okay, we're going to take that left big toe. We're going to lift it 1 inch off the floor and down. 1 inch up and down. Okay, so I want you to feel the lift come from that low belly. Okay, focus on that movement right there. That leg is out at a 45-degree angle. Good, you're lifting that big toe straight up to the ceiling. Good, it's a little lift and a little lower. I don't want anything else to change in your body. You are nice and tight. Okay, belly button super tight. Good, you're here for 6. Last 5. You've got 4. Good, last 3. Last 2. And sweep it all the way in, 2 straight legs. Nice job, you guys. Bring that yoga block down. Whew, my shoulders feel a little tired already. Okay, so we're gonna come into some squats with your tissue box, okay? So tissue box, right in between those knees, okay? So you wanna find a position. We've got just a nice light grip on it, okay? You want those feet about hip width distance apart, maybe a tiny bit more because of that yoga block or that tissue box. Okay, we're gonna bring those arms long and low by our side, and we're just gonna start with some full range of motion squats. So we're gonna exhale, reaching back with those sits bones. Knees come just in front of the ankle. Inhale as you rise back up. Exhale as you reach back. My torso tilts forward just a bit as I find length out of my right and left waistline. Inhale, tight core pulls you up. Exhale, reach those sitting bones back. They get nice and broad. Inhale, sitting bones narrow to rise. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see me. As I exhale, I'm reaching back with my sitting bones. I'm getting longer from the crown of my head to my tailbone. I'm longer here, okay? And then as I inhale, my sitting bones narrow to pick me up. Exhale as you lower. Grow longer from the crown of the head through the tailbone. Inhale as you rise. You have just a nice light grip on that tissue box. Inhale takes you up. Exhale as you lower. Good, find that length through the waistline. Good, all 10 toes are connected to the floor. We're not just working through the heel. Every time I bring my arms up and overhead, okay, I'm reminded that my arms live in my back, all right? So I'm wrapping those shoulder blades down and around the ribs. Good, you've got 4 more here. Good, last 3. We're gonna hold our squat, just 2 more. 2 more all the way up and down. On the next one, you're gonna hold it low. Okay, hold it low. Now, from this position, you're feeling lots of length, right, from the crown of the head through the tailbone. I'm reaching those sits bones behind me. From here, we're gonna take a little pulse. 1 inch up and 1 inch down. I am not squeezing that tissue box for dear life because I don't wanna crush it. Okay, so I wanna keep a nice light hold. Good, that's gonna intensify the movement for the inner thighs all the way up into the low belly. Good, all 10 toes are on the floor. Every time I pulse down, I get longer. Okay, my sits bones get broader. They narrow to pick me up. Good, try not to grip with your toes. That's my go-to, I always grip with my toes. Good, you're here for 4. We're gonna go back to full range of motion in 3. Good, last 2. Good, now we're gonna go all the way back up, all the way back down to that squat, all the way back up, reach and lengthen, and then inhale to rise. Exhale as you lower, inhale to rise, just 4 more like this. Good, last 3. Last 2. We've got a hold coming up, okay? Hold. Last 1, hold it right here, okay? From here, we're low in that squat, okay? We're finding that reach. Arms are gonna go up and down. So those arms are gonna go down. Inhale, lengthen and bring them up. Exhale, bring them down. Inhale, bring them up. Now as you bring your arms up and overhead, what I don't want you to do is flail them back and open your ribs, okay? No good. We want to keep the ribs closed and the shoulder blades around the ears. So my arms, my biceps, they never pass my ears, okay? That lift and lower happens all at the front of the body. Good, my belly button's pulled up and in super tight still. I'm not gripping that tissue box for dear life. No, I'm not. Good, just a nice light hold. My belly button's pulled up and in. You're here for 4 more. Last 3. Last 2. Good, you guys. Good, good, good. Okay, on the next one, you're going to hold those arms up and overhead. Hold your squat low. Now, instead of squeezing in on the tissue box, I want you to open up. Open up on the tissue box like it's almost going to fall out, and then reconnect. Open up on the tissue box like it's going to drop, and then reconnect. So you're opening the inner thighs outbound just a little bit. Just a little bit. You should really feel this through the inner thighs, okay? Almost let that tissue box fall and then reconnect. As you open up, that's where you find the shake. So I want you to embrace that shake. Good, you're here for 6. Last 5, keep drawing that belly button up and in. Last 4. Good, you've got 3. Last 2. And bring it all the way up, you guys. So good. All right. So keeping with that yoga block, we're going to set it down on the floor now. This yoga block or tissue box, I keep saying yoga box, that's what I'm using, but if you have a tissue box, that's great. Okay. Left foot is on the floor. Okay. Right toes are going to go nice and light on top of the tissue box. Now, we're going to find a loaded squat. So loaded through the left leg because our right leg is going to stay light. Okay, so starting with your hands on your hips, I want you to just start to feel this movement. We're going to exhale. Reach back with those sitting bones for that normal squat. Inhale as you rise up. So it's almost a single leg squat. Okay, you're super loaded on that left side. My right toes are connected to the tissue box. And I'm just finding that reach through my sitting bones still. So with the squat, because you reach so much with your sitting bone, your torso tilts forward. That's good. That's what we want, okay? But what I don't want you to do is dump the chest and then sit back, okay? So the tilt comes because you reach the sitting bone back, therefore the torso tilts. Inhale as that left sitting bone narrows to rise. Exhale as you lower. Good. Inhale as you lift. Excellent, you guys. Good. Whew. Good, so my left leg, my left glute, and my left quad have been miserable this week. I think because I burnt them out with some of that HIIT stuff, so I was a little worried about today, but so far so good. I stretched really good last night. Good, exhale as you lower down. Inhale as you rise. Good, just 3 more like this, and then we're going to start with some holds. Good, hopefully that body feels pretty warm. It feels pretty shaky. I've got a little sweat going on. Good, on your next one, you're going to hold it low. Okay, so reach that left sitting bone back. We're going to bring those arms up and overhead because why not? If you have your weights, awesome, okay? Now, from here, we're going to find just a little pulse. 1 inch up and 1 inch down. It's coming from my left sitting bone, okay? Center of my left glute is that little lift and lower. Good, so find that connection in your body. I want you to feel for that, okay? This is the time to connect with your body. Learn how your body moves. Feel it. Where are you feeling this work? I'm always going to tell you where you should feel it. Okay, so I want you to feel it there. Get into a position, follow my cues. Your right toes are light. Good. You're here for 6. Last 5. Good. You've got 4. We're here for 3. Last 2. Good. On your next one, you're going to hold that low squat, okay? Sitting back on that left side. So now my right toes are going to lift off that yoga block, and I'm going to extend my right leg long to the side. I'm going to bring it back and tap the yoga block or tissue box. Take that right leg out to the side, bring it back and tap. Right leg out and tap. Now, just like on our plies, when we did those lateral toe taps, My body didn't move, the rest of my body didn't move. I want you to focus on that here, okay? My low belly and my inner thigh lengthen out through that big toe, and then as I bring it back, that right femur bone is sucked back up into that hip socket, okay? Find the lift and the pickup from that right side. Good, you're here for 4. Good, last 3. I'm barely tapping that tissue box or that yoga block. Last 2. On your next one, you're gonna hold that right leg long. Hold it long, and now we're just gonna do a little lift and a little lower. A little lift and a little lower. Little lift, little lower. It's coming right from the right side of my hip, okay? My foot is in parallel, so my toes are shining forward. Okay, so the front of your quad is shining straight forward. The lift is coming from the side of the hip. Good. My left glute is on fire. Good, we're here for 4. Good, last 3. Last 2. And bring it all the way back up, guys. So good, so good. Okay, let's go on to a lunge. All right, so for this one, you're gonna just take that tissue box or yoga block and set it aside. We're not gonna use it for this part. Left leg is gonna be forward. Right leg is gonna be back. Okay, so you're gonna be on the ball of your right foot. Left foot is flat, okay? Find center with your body. We're gonna work on some lunges into some arabesques, okay? So, from here, we're gonna exhale as we bend both knees. Inhale as you rise up. Exhale, arms come up and overhead. Find length out of the waistline. Inhale as you rise up. Good. Exhale as you lower. My left knee comes just in front of my ankle. Line up that kneecap with big toe, second toe. Inhale as you rise. Now make sure that your right knee, the back knee, is also bending. Okay, that should be bending straight down. Good. My hips are level. They move together. Okay? So I don't want you to let that right side start to twerk or tilt. Try to keep those hips level. They move together. Good. We're staying tall through the torso. Last 4. We're going to start to add an arabesque. Good. Last 3. Last 2. Stay connected through that front foot. Good, you guys. Now on the next one, you're going to take that lunge, and as you rise up, you're going to find that little arabesque, and then you're going to bring it down. You're going to rise up, find that little kick back with the right leg, and then bring it down. So a little lift and a kick, engaging the right glute, and then bringing it back down. Rise, lift, and bring it down. So you're finding length on the right front body, opening up that right hip flexor, and then you're bringing it back. Staying connected to center, finding your balance. Now, keeping your core tight as you work is the key to keeping that balance and that stabilization. Okay, it's all going to come from the center of your body. Good, you guys, you've got 6 more here. Good, last 5. Last 4. Good, you've got 3. Keep those hips level. Last 2. On the next one, you're going to be holding your arabesque up. So we're going to lift and we're going to hold. Hold that arabesque, bring those hands to prayer, and now we're going to do a little pulse. A little pulse with that arabesque. Now, my left leg is straight, but my left knee is soft. Okay, so it's not locked out. Good, I'm pulsing that back leg, that little lift, engaging through the glam line where that glute meets the hamstring, finding that little lift. Core is tight, waistline is long. Good, you're here for 6. Good, last 5. Whoo, shaky shake, last 4. Good, you've got 3, oh, you got this. Last 2. And bring it all the way in. Whoo, shake it out. Shake out that left leg a little bit. Whew, okay, we're gonna go into some teaser work before we take that other side. So grab your tissue box or your yoga block, whatever you have. All right, those That tissue box is gonna go in your hands, all right? So you're sitting nice and tall on the tops of your sits bones. You want your sits bones engaged with the floor. My knees are bent, okay, and I've got that tissue box, or my yoga block, right between your palms, okay? Now, instead of pressing on the tissue box for this one, we're gonna actually pull, because what that's gonna do is it's gonna engage your back right underneath those shoulder blades, and it's gonna engage the waistline, and you're gonna feel that through your movement. It's gonna help you, okay? We're also gonna light up those arms a little bit. So, right away, sitting nice and tall, growing tall through the crown of the head, you're gonna pull on that tissue box, okay? We're not crushing it, we're just pulling on it, so elbows are wide, and now we're gonna start to roll back. So we're gonna curl the tailbone under us, and then the low back, and then we're gonna hold right there. Now I'm still pulling on this yoga block. Now I'm gonna float my right knee into tabletop, feel that femur bone connecting through the hip, and now I'm gonna take that left knee and I'm gonna float it into tabletop too. Okay, so now I'm connected. I feel my low belly, but I also feel my right and left waistline because I'm pulling on that tissue box. From here, holding this position, wrapping your shoulder blades around the ribs, you're gonna tap your right toes on the floor and bring it back up. Tap your left toes, bring it back up. Now every time I bring my leg up, I sink that femur bone into the hip. Okay, so I want you to feel this lift come from the low belly. The low belly is lifting. Okay, this is your psoas muscle that's connected to the top of the femur bone. Okay, psoas muscle is the part of the core. It wraps around the top of that femur bone, and that's how we lift and lower our legs. So that's what's happening here. I'm still pulling on that tissue box, feeling my right and left waistline. You should be shaking. You should be shaking for sure. Good. Just 4 more here. Keep drawing those thighs close to your chest. Last 2. On your next one, you're gonna hold those knees bent, okay? I'm lifted up out of my low back. My low belly is working. I'm gonna twist to the left and bring it back through center on that exhale. Twist to the right, pull on that tissue box. Exhale through center. Twist through the waistline, okay? So a little Pilates version of a Russian twist. We're twisting through that waist. Pulling on that tissue box is going to engage that waistline even deeper, connecting the back line of the body. Good, working on those biceps a little bit. Good, you guys. Last 4. Good, we're down to 2. On the next one, this is it. Hold it at center. If you are up for it, extend both legs nice and long. Otherwise, you keep them bent. Legs are long. Inhale that tissue box overhead. Exhale, bring it down. We're still pulling. Inhale it up overhead. Exhale, bring it down. Good. Reaching up out of that low belly. Lifting into that little V. Good. You're here for 4. Last 3. Good, you guys. You've got 2. This is it. Last 1. And set those legs down. So good, you guys. So good. Take that little forward fold if you need to. Relax those hip flexors. I know mine start to grip at the end of that. We're going to do that arabesque on the other side. So set your tissue box down on the side, coming all the way up. We're going to have our right leg forward this time, okay? So right leg forward, left leg back. Make sure you can see me. Okay, right leg forward, left leg back. From here, we're going to find that lunge first, okay? So exhale, find that lunge. Inhale, rise back up, connecting to center. Okay, so it always takes me a minute to find my balance. Right off the bat, I always wobble. You want to find the connection through the front foot. So you want to be engaged from underneath the big toe all the way down to the outer line of that right heel. Okay, keep that entire foot engaged. Both knees bend. We're tracking that front knee with big toe, second toe, and it's coming right in front of the ankle. My back knee is bending. Okay, my core is tight. My torso is lifted. Good, you guys. Nice and controlled. Every time I bring my arms up, I lengthen out of my waist. Good. We've got 6 more here. Last 5. Good. You've got 4. Last 3. Good. Last 2. Good. Now, on this next one, we're going to take that lunge, and now as we come up, we're going to find that little arabesque. And then we're going to come back into the lunge. Lift, connect through the front foot, find that little kickback, okay? It's a tiny little lift. Okay, I don't want you to shorten your low back, so it's not a crazy kick. We're engaging the glam line where the glute and the hamstring meet, that little area. That's where we're engaging to find that little lift. Your inhale takes you up. I lost my balance there. Good, you guys. You're here for 6. Good, last 5. Good, core is tight. You've got 4. Keep that belly button up and in. You've got 3. Woo. Ooh, I lost it. Last 2. Too much talking, right? Too much talky talk. On the next one, hold it up. Hold that arabesque. Okay, hands to prayer. Give me that little lift, that little kickback, that little lift, little lower. It's tiny. My left toes never touch the floor. I'm staying lifted, loaded through that front leg. Okay, but I'm holding center. That prayer position at chest center should help you find that connection to the middle of your body. Good. Good. Closing up those ribs. Good. Drawing that belly button up and in for 4. Good. Last 3. You've got 2. And bring it all the way down. So good. All right. Grab that tissue box. We're going to come into that loaded squat on the other side. So tissue box comes down onto the floor. This time your right foot stays down. Your left toes are going to come to the top of the tissue box. Okay. So find a position where your feet are pretty much under your hips, okay? That's where we want to be for this squat. Feet are in parallel. I'm loaded through my right leg. That means my weight is through my right. My left toes are super light on that tissue box, okay? From here, we're going to exhale as we lower into that squat. Inhale as you rise. So change in movement. Right now, we got to think about letting that torso tip, but the torso tips because we reach with that right sitting bone. I'm going to turn to the side so you guys can see me on this side. Okay, so as you lower down, you're reaching that right sits bone back. That keeps my knee in front of my ankle. Line it up with big toe, second toe. Inhale as you rise. Reach first. Therefore, the torso tips. You really engage the glute that way. And then you inhale to rise. We're not coming super low. We want to keep that core engaged, okay? So it's not all about the legs. The core is working through every movement in this entire workout. The core is the powerhouse, okay? So everything drives from the center. Oh my gosh, I think I hear geese outside, which is so cool on Easter. I can hear them loud and clear. It's amazing all the stuff that's coming out these days. Since we're all stuck inside, nature is just like, it's just flourishing. It's so gorgeous. Good, you guys. Good. You're here for 4 more. We're going to find that little pulse. Good. In 3. Last 2. Good. On the next one, you're going to hold that squat low. Okay, we're fully connected through that right foot. Left toes are light. Little pulse. Little pulse. Good. Now this is coming from that right sits bone. Right sits bone gathers to pick you up and broadens to lower. It gathers and broadens. That's how you're lifting and lowering. I want you to feel it right there at the center of the glute. Arms up and overhead is going to lengthen that lever, plugging those arms down around the ribs, down the back. Good. Lengthening out of the waistline, growing taller, growing longer as you pulse down. Good. You're here for 6. Whew. Last 5. Good. Last 4. Good, you've got 3. We've got that little hold in that leg extension coming up. Last 2. Good, on your next one, you're gonna hold it right there. Now left toes. Left leg is gonna extend long, tap the toes out, come back, tap the yoga block or the tissue box. Lengthen, tap. Lengthen, tap. Now we're loaded on that right side, but nothing else changes because that's the way we were the whole time. We want the body to hold position. Good. Nice and strong. Good, you're here for 4. I know it burns, but you stay with me. You're here for 3. I'm always going to count you down. You're here for 2. Good, you guys. On the next one, hold that leg long out to the side. Little leg lifts. 1 inch up and 1 inch down. It's coming from the top side of the left hip. So don't go into external rotation, okay? Those toes are shining forward. All 10 toes on both feet shine forward, lifting from the side of the hip for 6, for 5, last 4, for 3, last 2, and bring it all the way up. Woo, shake out that right side. Shake it out. We're going to come into some 4-point kneeling work, okay? So come down onto your hands and knees. Tissue box comes right between those knees again, or right between those inner thighs. Now again, nice light grip. We're not going to crush the tissue box. At no point in this workout are we going to destroy it. It's going to stay beautiful. Okay, so hands, wrists, under shoulders. You want those palms with a slight external rotation, okay? That's going to help you connect to the back and into the sides of the waistline. Okay, so slight external rotation. That means those fingertips are out to the corners of the room just a bit. Spread those fingers nice and wide and find a little suction cup through the center of your palm. You're going to turn those toes underneath you. Knees are directly underneath your hips. We're going to come into some hovering work. Okay, so from here, lengthening through the crown of the head from the tailbone, you're going to inhale as you draw that belly button up, knees hover 1 inch off the floor, hold. Hold it right there, okay? We're holding for 8. Good, for 7. For 6, keep those knees very close to the floor. For 5, for 4, good, last 3, last 2. Set those knees down super soft, super soft. Good, we're gonna go again, so don't lose that position, stay right where you are. This time as you hover, I want you to think about pulling your shoulder blades down towards your waist, okay? I want you to find that movement in your body. Okay, we're gonna inhale, hover those knees just 1 inch off the floor, my toes are light. I'm pulling my shoulder blades towards my waistline or down and around my ribs, okay? My belly button is up and in, I've got a light little squeeze on that tissue box. For 8, for 7, good, for 6, for 5, last 4, you've got 3, last 2, set those knees down nice and soft. We're gonna go one more time like that, okay? One more time, and then we're gonna get a little deeper. All right, so just setting that body up, preparing the body for movement. All right, from here, inhale, hover, 1 inch off the floor. Those knees are barely off the floor. Nice light squeeze on that tissue box. Pull those shoulder blades down and around the ribs. Can you draw those ribs together underneath your body? For 8, for 7. Good, feel the inner thighs with that light little squeeze. Connect to the low belly. For 4, good, last 3, last 2. Set those knees down nice and soft. Okay, now stay where you're at. Okay, we're gonna come into that 4-point kneel hover, but this time we're gonna find a little flexion in the movement, all right? So, follow my cues, stay with me, nothing else changes, all right? Position is exactly the same. On your inhale breath, now we're gonna take this into full plank movement, so just stay with me with my cues, okay? You're gonna inhale, hover those knees 1 inch off the floor. Now, staying right there,
you're going to arc your spine. So I'm going to start by nodding my chin, lifting my belly button up and in. My knees don't move. And then I come back to a flat back. Exhale, nod, round the spine like a cat, and then come back. Don't let those knees get any higher off the floor. Keep them low. The change is coming through the spine. Okay, exhale, nod the chin round and bring it back. Good, you've got 4. Good, last 3. Good, you've got 2. Good, give me 1 more. Keep those knees low. Come all the way to that flat back and come down onto your knees for a minute. All right, we're gonna go right into a plank. So roll out those wrists. If you need to, you can always come down on your forearms. Now I suggest if you come down on your forearms, possibly losing the tissue box, just because it might hit the floor. But if it feels fine for you, you can absolutely keep it. Okay, so we're gonna be on our hands and knees again. From here, we're gonna hover those knees, right? We got that down. And now we're gonna take those legs all the way out to a nice long plank position. Again, you have a nice light hold on the tissue box, all right? From here, we're gonna pike our hips. So using your low belly, your seat crease, okay, where the legs connect to the hips, I want you to crease and fold. And come back down. Use your low belly to pick you up and then bring you down. Your feet don't move, your hands don't move. I want you to pike by using the low belly to lift. Good, now you've got that tissue box, hopefully, so I want you to think about the inner thighs connecting to the tissue box and helping lift your low belly. Okay, so the inner thighs connect to that low belly, so find that pickup there. Good, you're here for 4. Good, last 3. Good, you've got 2. On the next one, you're gonna hold, draw that low belly in. I want you to think about squeezing your low belly into your belly button, okay? Really tight, nice tight hold there, okay? Light squeeze on the tissue box connects those inner thighs for 4. Good, last 3, we're not going anywhere. Last 2, come back down to your plank, little swivel through your waist. Okay, little twist, little twist, little twist, little twist. I'm not dropping my hip to the floor, I'm just twisting. It's really small and it's isolated to the waistline. Okay, isolate that movement. Little twist, little twist, little twist. Keep drawing that waistline nice and long. Send those shoulders away from your ears. Good, you're here for 6. This is it, last 5. We set those knees down in 4. Last 3. Good, you've got 2. And bring it back to center, set those knees down. Nice job, you guys, nice job. All right, we're gonna get off those wrists. We're gonna come into some side lying work. So, yoga block is gonna come down. Let's see, we're gonna start with our left leg. So, down onto your left side. You're gonna come down onto your forearm for this. So, right forearm is down, and your left toes should be at a place where they hit the center or the top of the tissue box, okay? So we're in that side lying position. My bottom leg is folded in front of me. My right knee is bent. I'm lifted out of my right shoulder. My right elbow is directly underneath that shoulder. I'm lifted through the waistline, nice and long on both sides, okay? Now, my left toes are gonna stay light. I'm gonna take that left arm up and overhead. From here, we're gonna find some extension through the waistline. So, we're gonna inhale, lengthen, arc that left arm up and over the body, find length out of the left waistline, and then exhale back to start. Inhale, lengthen and reach out of the waistline. Go ahead and allow yourself to look at the floor, and then lift it back up and over. Inhale, lengthen and reach. Exhale, bring it back. You're lengthening out of the left side body. Inhale, up and over. And bring it all the way back. Okay, hold that arm up right there. Now, we're gonna work that left leg. Left toes are gonna lift straight up off the box and back down. About 4 inches off the box and back down. So you're finding the lift from the top of the left leg. Okay, so I want you to think about those toes, those left toes, shining straight forward because that leg is staying in parallel. What I don't want you to do is swivel into external rotation and start to roll back into your hip. That's not what we're doing, okay? We're staying lifted on the top of the hip, and we're lifting straight up and down from the top side of that hip, okay, where the leg connects to the pelvis. I want you to think about your left hip stacked right on top of your right hip, so they're nice and stacked, and you're lifted up through the waist, okay? Little lift, little lower. That left arm can stay up towards the ceiling. It can come down to your hip, or it can be on the floor for a little extra support out of that right shoulder. Whatever feels best to you, okay? Good, you're here for 6. Good, last 5. Good, you've got 4. Last 3. Good, last 2. Okay, stay with me. On the next one, you're gonna hold that leg up there. Now we're gonna do some rainbow arcs over the tissue box. So that left leg is gonna go forward, tap the floor, all the way back, tap the back. All the way over the tissue box, tap the floor. All the way over to the back, tap the floor, okay? So you're staying lifted out of that right shoulder. Okay, don't let it collapse. You wanna make a nice big rainbow, but you wanna keep length on that left waistline, okay? Hips are still stacked. I'm not rolling and sitting back. Last 4. Good. You've got 3. Last 2. Good. On your next one, you're going to bring it back to center just over that tissue box. Now, that left leg is going to swivel. It's going to swivel to external, all the way to internal. You're going to swivel that leg like it's on a skewer. Okay, you want to swivel that femur bone in the hip socket so you find full twist of the leg, okay? Full twist. Full twist. Stay lifted out of that right shoulder. Don't go anywhere. This is it on this side, okay? Good. Stay with me. Good. You've got 4. Find that full swivel. Last 3, keeping those hips stacked. Last 2. And bring it all the way back in, guys. Woo! Nice job. Come on up off that shoulder. We're gonna take a minute here and we're gonna do some crab work. Okay, so we're gonna be working through those triceps a little bit more. So we're gonna take the tissue box, okay, we're gonna come into a crab-like position. So tissue box comes right between those inner thighs or those knees again. You're gonna bring those hands behind you in external rotation again. So fingertips are nice and wide and spread out, and they're at a 45-degree angle facing the corners of the room. Okay, from here, feet are directly flat on the floor, right off the hips. You're gonna inhale, lift up into a crab position and stay right there, okay? So I'm lifted up out of my shoulders. Now, from here, I'm gonna bend my elbows, tap my butt on the floor. So you might need to find a different position with your hands. For me, my external rotation is gonna change a little bit. Okay, so you wanna bend, tap the floor. It should not hurt. And then inhale as you rise up. Exhale, bend, tap the floor. Inhale, rise up. Okay, so my palms are still externally rotated. Okay, I'm dipping through the triceps, lifting up out of the shoulder. My chest stays open. Okay, and I've got a nice light hold on that tissue box connecting the inner thigh to the low belly. Good. Good, 4 more here. Last 3. This lights up fast, right? Last 2. Good, on your next one, you're gonna hold it up there, okay. Connect your right foot to the floor. Left leg is gonna come all the way out nice and long. I'm still holding that tissue box nice and light. We're gonna find 6 dips like this, okay? So exhale, bend the elbows, inhale up. We're here for 5. Whew. Last 4. Good, stay with me. Last 3. You got this. Last 2. Good. On your next one, hold it up. Bring that left foot down to the floor. Let's extend that right leg. Just 6 more on this side. You can do this, okay? Exhale, bend those elbows, tap. Inhale up for 5. Whew. Last 4. Last 3. Last 2, it's a small range of motion. Whew, and 1 more for good measure. Ooh, and bring it all the way down. Nice job, you guys. So good. All right, now we got to do that other leg lift on the other side. Yeah, and if we have time for something else, I'll bring it in, but I'm not sure if we're going to have time. Okay, so bring that yoga block down on the floor on your right side this time. We're going to be on our left forearm, okay? Left forearm, make sure that yoga block is out far enough that you've got your toes right towards the center of it. I don't know if you guys can see me. Pretty good. Okay, you know the position. All right, so hips are stacked. We're lifting up out of that left shoulder. My left knee is bent in front of me. My right leg is long just off the hip, okay? My right toes are parallel, shining straight forward. From here, we're gonna find those arm reaches first. I almost forgot. Bring that right arm up and overhead. We're gonna inhale, lengthen out of the right waistline, up and overhead. Exhale, back to start. Inhale, lengthen, look at the floor. Find the length and extension through the right waistline. And then bring it back. Good. Right toes are light on that tissue box. Good, last one. Inhale that arm up and overhead. Find that length and then bring it back. Okay, you can keep that arm up and overhead. You can bring it to your hip or you can set it in front of you. We're gonna go for those little leg lifts. Okay, so on that right side, right toes lift straight up and down. Straight up and down. So it's a tiny little lift and lower directly from the side of the right hip. Okay, I didn't go into external rotation. I'm keeping that right leg in parallel. Belly button is up and in nice and tight. I have a tight core. I'm lifting up out of my left shoulder, staying connected through that shoulder girdle, not letting anything collapse. Good. You've got 6. Good, last 4. Good, we're down to 2. Good, on your next one, let's hold that leg up and let's do those rainbow arcs now. All the way forward. Now we're arcing all the way over and back. All the way forward, tap the floor. All the way over and back. You're lifting over that tissue box, finding a nice big arc. Not letting your shoulder collapse, so we're staying lifted out of that left shoulder. Everything's connected from the head to the toes. Good. You've got 4. Stay with me on this. Good. You've got 3. Good. Last 2. We're going to find that swivel through the femur bone. Good. On your next one, let's bring that leg directly back up over the tissue box. It is hovering. Let's swivel that entire leg now. External to internal. External to internal. So you're finding the full twist of the leg. I'm not rolling back into my hip though. I'm not sitting back. I'm staying connected and lifted. Hips are stacked. Good. Stay lifted out of your left shoulder. Don't let it collapse. Not yet. We're here for 4. Good. Last 3. Last 2. And bring it all the way in. Woo. Feels good. We'll stretch it out at the end. Don't worry. Okay, guys, we're going to come into some prone back extension work. So keeping that tissue box right where it's at behind you. I'm just flipping my yoga block so it's a little bit taller now so I can grab it. What's going to happen is we're going to lie down on our belly, okay? So all the way down, find that nice long body. Now you want to be at a position where that tissue box is right between your feet, okay? Because we're going to be lifting it. Take those arms. I'm not sure if you can see my full body. But you want to take your arms all the way out in front of you, okay? So palms are facing in. The outer line of my arm is connected to the floor. My head is down. I'm looking at the ground, okay? I've got a nice light hold on the tissue box already. From here, we're going to exhale to prepare. Inhale, lengthen, lift the arms and the legs off the floor. And bring it all the way back down on that exhale. Inhale, lengthen and lift, lengthen. Don't let your belly collapse on the floor. Hold that core tight and then bring it down. Inhale, lengthen and hold. Find that pause at the top of the movement. Exhale down. Good. As you find that pause, can you grow longer from your fingertips all the way out through your toes? Find the length through the spine and then back down. Good. We're here for 4. Good. Last 3. Last 2. Good, on your next one, you're gonna hold it up there, hold it up. Legs stay where they're at, arms are gonna go into swimmer arms. So, one up, one down, one up, one down, moving from the back. Connect those shoulder blades down and around the ribs, okay? The arms are connected to the back. I want you to feel it through the lats. 1 inch up, or not even 1 inch up. You're just bringing one arm up and one arm down. Okay, keeping those legs lifted off the floor. Nice light grip on that tissue box for 6. Woo, for 5. Good, last 4. Good, you've got 3. Last 2. Good, bring it all the way down. Full range of motion for just 4 counts, okay? So legs and arms lift, just like we started, and back down. Try not to grip the booty. Up, find length. Glutes contract just because you find the length. Last 2. On your next one, you're gonna hold one last time. Inhale, hold it up there. Palms face the floor now. Palms face your floor. Now you're going to pull those elbows back and down. Try to draw the elbows behind your low back and then send those arms forward. Pull them back and down. Arms forward into a point. Bring those elbows back and down. Fingertips come forward to a point. Last 6. You guys, this is it. This is the last exercise. Last 5. Last 4, find more length, find more lift. Last 3, last 2, and last 1. Bring it all the way out and set yourself down. Nice and slow. Let go of that tissue box. You can kick it away from you now. We don't need it anymore. Hands come down alongside your shoulders. Push yourself back into a child's pose and find that nice long length out of the spine. And just breathe. Breathe right here. Whew, finding that release. That should feel really nice on the low back. Now, after that prone work, it should also feel really good through those glutes. We work those legs pretty heavy too. Everything working. Good. And just breathe. Let your body melt. Good. Once you're ready, come on up into a down dog. So keeping those hands flat on the floor, press your feet, toes down on the floor, press those heels back. Find that nice little tent position with your body. Let your head hang between your arms, biceps somewhere around the ears, pressing your heels down towards the floor, feeling the stretch through the back line of the leg. And just breathe. Good, you can pedal out those knees a little bit, bending the right, bending the left, picking those heels up off the floor as you bend the knee. Good, once you're ready, you're gonna come down onto your knees and we're gonna roll onto our back. We're gonna come into a quick little figure 4 stretch and a little mermaid, okay? This is really quick because I know we're at that hour already. So you're gonna let all the way down on your back. Bend that left knee, take your right leg and bring it on top of your left thigh. And now we're gonna take our hands behind the left thigh and pull that leg in. Okay, now if you wanna straighten out your left leg, I like to kind of start that way. And as I fold my left knee in, as I bend it, my right glute feels a much deeper stretch because I press with my left knee, I press that right ankle closer to my body. Good, and just hold it there for 4. Good, you can use your right elbow to press that inner thigh open if you'd like. Last 3. Last 2. Good, bringing that left foot back and down. Let's bring that right foot down to the floor. Take that left ankle on top of the right thigh. Take those hands behind the right thigh. Now, bring that leg in. I like to start with that right leg straight up in the air, and as I bend the right knee in, I push that left ankle closer to my chest, and I feel a much deeper stretch to the outer line of that left hip and glute. Good. Use your left elbow to press open that left inner thigh if that feels good. You're here for 4. Last 3. Last 2. Good. Bring that right foot back down, left foot back down to the floor. Come all the way back up. Now, just swiveling to face forward. That left leg is going to hook in front of you. Right leg hooks behind you. Okay, we've got a little mermaid stretch going on right here. Bring those hands down alongside your body. Right arm up and over to the left side. Bring it all the way back through center. Left arm up and over to the right. Good, one more time. Left arm up and over. Bring that right arm back down. Left arm up and over. Find the stretch through the left side body. And back. Let's switch those legs out. This is our last thing here before I let you go on this Easter Sunday. Good, right leg is hooked in front, left leg is hooked behind you. Left arm comes up and over. Good, and coming back on that exhale, inhale, right arm up and over. Coming back, good, last two. Inhale, finding length and lift. All the way back. Good, last one on that right side, right arm up and over. Good, and bring it all the way down. Good, bringing those legs together, knees together. Come onto your feet, hands are on the floor, feet are nice and close together. Knees are soft. On your inhale breath, go ahead and roll yourself one vertebrae at a time, all the way back up to standing, stacking that spine. And your head rises last. Nice job, you guys. Awesome job. Thank you so much for joining me on Easter. I know that's not easy to do, but it's so nice to have people here with me on Easter Sunday, Easter morning. Enjoy your family today. Enjoy this time. Try to relax the rest of the day. I will be back with you tomorrow at 5 p.m. for a HIIT workout. So if you're up for it, we're going to get that heart rate up a little bit more on Monday night. And then Tuesday again for some mat Pilates. Okay, guys? So check out the Paseo Club page for the full schedule. All the instructors are listed there and what days they're teaching. They're all super fabulous and they're all bringing you new stuff every week, so it's pretty darn cool. And for the first time, I'm gonna have a kids workout on Wednesday. My two little kids designed to work out for your little ones. So be sure to join us. That's at Wednesday at 2 p.m. Okay? All right, guys. Bye. Happy Easter. Love to you all.